Alright guys, here we are. We're beginning this project. The first step is what?
To move everything.
Well, yeah. Heavy 80-pound bags of mortar and stuff like that. Alright guys, move it out of there. And then what do we do?
And then cut the carpet out.
You want to cut it first? Huh? Or should we measure it and then cut?
Oh, measure it.
Measure it. So we'll be removing a portion of this carpet and figuring some stuff out. I might have to do that part, kids. Oh, that's the problem with these kids. They'll just go ahead and do it. There she goes with 80 pounds. Wow.
A little bit harder.
See these children?
Oh,
80 pounds. Okay, kids, let me finish that. So we got that stuff at least moved back for right now. This sheet of drywall is going to head back on the wall. I just taken it off initially. I took off all the trim. Now at least we know where the studs are. We'll use a stud finder or a hammer or something to locate the studs on there. That'll be important when we put up the rest of the stuff. That picture you can leave there, child. That's actually from the Yeti, Freedom Point. When he was here, he helped draw up some important stuff to consider and think about when making something like this. And definitely taking all that information into consideration, for sure. So over the top of this, we're going to use some of that as well. And that is like a concrete board, Durock. And we're going to put some on each side, and then also for the floor. And then I think we're going to put a spacer behind it, some sort of conduit or maybe metal roofing, and then run another layer before we put the lath and the rock and the stuff over it. So I'm not entirely too impressed with how that is. So I think we're going to re-screw that into the ceiling while we got that open, and then we'll put this back up on top of it and get our measurements and everything else we need to do. On here we've got these little ones left, staples from the drywall I ripped off recently. Monster Truck got his own tools, so why don't you see if they'll take them out, Sonny boy. See if you can take those out.
These. Okay. These are guys.
I would pinch through the middle and then pry it off. And girls, move off of the light.
Half it out.
The best way is going to be like this. If you put it in the middle, okay, and then you just twist.
That's what
So you just roll it out, roll it out, roll it out. See that? And it all came out. So you should be able to do that. You know, open it a bit. I can't do that one-handed. So try a new one once and just roll and twist and see what happens. Put it in there. Pinch hard, and then just roll and roll, and use the power of the wood to roll it off there. Yeah, use the wood as leverage. Keep going. There you go. There you go.
Can I try?
There you go. A little more, Sonny boy. You're almost there. There you go. All right. Now we don't want to be stepping on these, so we keep them all intact. Alright guys, a couple things we forgot earlier. I was going to measure where this pipe comes through. That actual plate down there is going to be welded back on the top. But we're going to use a rubbing. So get your paper plate, put it over it, upside down. And then I want you to hold it very still and use your crayon sideways to make a rubbing of how big the hole is. So hold it still, yep, and then rub it on there. You should be able to find, hold on, I'll show you. Somebody hang on this light. So you hold this, see that? Now hold it still, and this will tell us exactly how big that thing is. And if you held it really still, yeah, it'll connect. Okay, so now we know that's how big the hole is for the pipe. Now if we measure this across, grab this please. You don't need to hold still anymore. Measure it across. Yeah, what's that, about 5.5 inches? Or maybe, oh, there's the 0. That's better. 6, that makes sense. 6 inches. Now we got to measure how far it is from the thing. Somebody can record the numbers. Let's measure from the edge. Put the 0 right on the edge. Okay. So we're about 6 inches in. So write a 6. And that's from the back. So just write 6. And then write a B after it, a big B. Alright, so that's 6 from the back, and then we're going to measure from the side. Okay. And it looks like about 8.5 from the side. So write 8.5 or 8.5, which is 8.5. And then write a S, kind of shaped like the 5. Yep, that's from the side. Now we got our measurements. Okay, did you learn anything? Red pepper, did you learn anything?
Yeah.
Now you know how to do a rubbing. Alright.
I've done leaf rubbings.
Yeah, it's kind of like a leaf
Dad,
rubbing.
couldn't we measure from here over here?
From the front?
Yeah.
Well, if we get the things from the sides, then we know where it is.
Oh.
So we'll go do it. Let's go. So red pepper and sweet pepper built this, and this is a replica size of the wood stove. Can you show me it on the rope? We got to find out which way is the front, which way is whatever. Line it up. Show me. So that's not that side.
Yeah.
Hold that end, Pinky. Oops. Now hold that end and pull it out. Okay. No, pull it tight. Yes, you. We have to see which knot it lines up to. Okay, so that's the first knot. That's the short side. Now pull yours, Pinky, to the far corner. And then pull it tight. Which knot is that?
At the last knot.
The second knot. Okay, so that's the way that it is. It's longer than it is wide. Do you still have that crayon?
Yeah.
Can we write a F on this? F for front, and then write a B by U.
Right here?
No, somewhere right on the edge.
Right here.
Yeah, write a B. Because that's the back. Now that we know that, where is your paper plate?
Paper plate.
Okay, paper plate. I'm going to need you to cut out the circle.
Like right here?
Well, she's going to cut out the circle.
Oh yeah.
And that's a replica of the stovepipe. We used a crayon rubbing, which is a great way to get a print of a lot of different things. You see how easy that was, right?
Yeah.
And a nice thing about a circle is when you hold it still.
Am I falling into a track?
Yeah, just go right around the outside of it. When you hold it still, if you come back to the same place you started and actually makes a circle, then you know that you did hold it still. If it wiggles somewhere, you know it didn't.
It's on my razor blade.
Okay, now we have some measurements on there. What are they?
8, 5.
8.5, 8.5,
I need the measuring tape.
and
6B.
6. Okay, so we're 6 inches from the back. You know what else is 6 inches? Anyone got $1 on them? Grab one quick.
I don't ever that one right here.
$1? Okay, come on over here. Open your wallet up, big shot. Oh yeah, look at that. He's got $1. Now fold it in half the long way to keep it real straight. So fold it right in half the long way. Not that way. So it's still just as long. Yep. Yeah, sorry, fold it in half the short way, so it's just as long. And then touch that to the back of the replica, right in the middle. We're putting the stovepipe in. Okay? And then draw a line right at the tip of it, as far in as it goes. So that should be 6 inches, because $1 is 6 inches. Did you get a good line there? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now put your stovepipe there. Yep. Just touching it.
Touching it.
Remember, it's 6 inches from
Here?
it. Yeah, there we go. And flip that upside down. I like the other side of the stovepipe better. There we go. Now we're going to try to make it 8.5 inches from each side. So we can measure in 8.5 inches from that side and draw a line, and then do the same thing from there, and we should be right in the middle. Where's the measuring tape?
Got it right here in my pocket. Take it.
You don't need everyone. It's one measuring tape.
Not 2. Okay. Now, what do we need it?
Yeah, so maybe have Monster Truck hold the 0 right at the edge.
The 0. Oh, this is centimeters. This is just right here.
Okay, there you go. Hold it right there. And come in 8.5 inches. We'll move it over until it's 8.5 inches, and then draw a line.
Can we come under it?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Like right there. Where it
Okay,
is.
so draw a line.
Oh, it's on tape. I'll just drop it here. And
Okay, right below it too. Right at 8.5.
oh,
Okay. Now, somebody hold that still. It doesn't need to wiggle too much, and move the 8.5 to the other side. Put the 0 at the edge.
here's sweet pepper. Just grab it right and make sure the 0 is right at the edge.
Not centimeters.
Oh,
I mean inches.
exactly 8.5 right here. Okay, done.
Yeah. So then put your circle in the middle and trace around it. Try to have it be right in the middle. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now just trace around the whole thing as much as you can. And if we were doing this outside, and since we got tape and paper, you know it'd be a good way to make a print of that?
Huh.
Put that right in the middle, put a rock on top of it, and then what? What could you do to mark it? I'll give you a clue. Shh.
Spray paint it.
Spray paint it. That's right. But we're in the house. No spray paint in the house tonight. So this will give us an estimation of where that's going to be.
What was that?
That was my phone. Probably getting a text message or something happened on Instagram.
Notification.
Not sure what other notifications there are on that phone. There we go. Now that gives us something to deal with. So as I'm working on this project with these kids, you know, it's a matter of doing something once and doing it right. This right here actually may not be the best corner. It's right next to the entrance to the room and some other thing. I'm looking across and I'm thinking the fireplace may be best in the complete opposite corner. So that corner over there may be the best one. And I may talk to Mama Pepper and see if we move it over there. The cool thing is, if nothing else, we just reinforce this wall. Not a problem. We can put the stuff back on it. I have the trim. I have the drywall I was putting back on anyway. And all of our work with this project remains the same. I'm going to do something. I want to do it right. I'm thinking about how much space this is going to take and some other things. We'll keep thinking. I think I'm going to do my stone bake test and then talk to Mama Pepper and go from there. So we'll see what happens. We'll let you know. If you got a suggestion, let me know. Because that way when you walk in from the front door even, or you're sitting at the table eating dinner, or you're in that area you could see the stove even, the wood stove. You could see the fire. And it would radiate into that section of the house easier, I believe. I think it's good. Let me know what you think. Papa out.